Good day, and welcome to the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas. Always good to have you join me as I share my astrology for the upcoming week of March 2nd through March 8th. It certainly is a busy week with Saturn, planet of career, going retrograde on the 2nd, Jupiter, planet of good fortune, going direct on the 6th, and finally Mercury, getting back up to speed on the 7th. Whenever planets change directions, either direct or retrograde, there's always a shift in the energies. Overall, our week still looks a bit lighter. Let's look at our daily forecast for March 2nd through March 8th. Sunday, March 2nd. Our day begins with Moon in Psychic Pisces. The Moon sextiles Venus at 5:04 a.m. It's a great aspect to stay in bed and indulge yourself. Go ahead and have that extra Danish. The Moon is now void of course at 5:04 a.m. until the Moon enters Aries at 9:40 a.m. We'll all feel more active after that time. Saturn goes stationary retrograde at 10:19 a.m. at 23 degrees Scorpio. As a general rule, Saturn goes retrograde every year for about 4 months. At this time, Saturn will stay retrograde until July 21st. With Saturn retrograde, this is a good time. It's a good time frame to work and plan ahead for our future. We are looking for real solutions and trying to make decisions that will benefit us. Saturn always wants us to go slowly and to go carefully because she wants to be successful. Saturn can also make us feel more fearful about our future. Don't let that fear stop you from doing what's best. And then in the afternoon, Venus squares Mars at 2:04 p.m. We want what we want when we want it. This can make us feel very self-focused and justify any actions that we feel necessary. If your relationship is not going very well, this time frame can make it worse. If your relationship is doing great, you will still need some time for reactivation. Generally, this can make us feel restless throughout the whole day. Try to make sure that you have plenty of options so that you don't feel trapped. Monday, March 2nd, the Moon transits self-confident Aries all day. The Moon squares Jupiter at 3:14 a.m. If you're awake, it's a great time for changing your routines. If you're asleep, just enjoy sleeping. The Moon conjuncts Uranus at 3:40 a.m. This aspect, along with the previous one, will certainly make it hard to sleep. Our brains will be extremely active and will be looking for something to wrap our head around. The Moon squares Pluto at 7:46 a.m. Several aspects right early in the morning. We are certainly wearing our emotions on our sleeve this morning. People are a bit edgy, and they're likely to dump some of their crap on you if you're not careful. So don't be poking people with a stick. The Sun sextiles Pluto at 1:13 p.m. Rationality finally enters the picture this afternoon. We're trying to get a better handle on what we're doing with our time and how that helps to create a better sense of our security. This aspect is very good for detective work or just getting to the bottom of things. This aspect is in effect all day. The Moon sextiles Mercury at 5:28 p.m. We're looking forward during the late afternoon period. In business, this should be a great time to be contacting your existing clientele or customers. Personally, you may be wondering about how to get to where you are. This is a good time for organizing and cleaning up at home or in the office. Tuesday, March 4th. The morning, the moon starts the day in inquisitive Aries. The moon opposes Mars at 8:44 a.m. We're feeling very active and spirited today. We will definitely want to have our way this morning. Of course, others may want the same thing. The moon squares Venus at 11:31 a.m. We're certainly trying to make the best use of our time during this late morning time. Some compromise will be necessary. The moon is now void of course from 11:31 a.m. until 1:12 p.m. when the moon enters dependable Taurus, a fairly short void of course time for us on Tuesday. Later in the evening, the moon sextiles Neptune at 10:53 a.m. This is a good evening to be looking for what's right in the world. Wednesday, March 5th, the moon resides in reliable Taurus all day. The moon sextiles Jupiter at 8:02 a.m. This combination will make the morning really nice. Keep yourself open to new ideas. The moon trines Pluto at 1:02 p.m. We're remaining focused on our agenda for today. This aspect is especially good for dealing with any kind of money matters. Venus enters Aquarius at 3:02 p.m. Venus, planet of desire, enters the mental and logical sign of Aquarius, the water bearer. We will all be more detached in our views about relationships over the next month. Later in the afternoon, the moon sextiles the sun at 4:56 a.m. We're making the best use of our time during the late afternoon. It's a great afternoon for dealing with the public, getting your errands finished or your chores done. This aspect carries us through the evening and should help to make it a pleasant evening. Thursday, March 6th, our day begins with the moon in supportive Taurus. The moon squares Mercury at 1:17 a.m. If you're awake, this makes you talkative and inquisitive. If you're trying to sleep, this will make you feel restless. Jupiter goes stationary direct at 4:42 a.m. Jupiter begins her forward movement in the sign of Cancer at 10 degrees. Jupiter in Cancer has made us a lot more conscious about our needs for our inner security in our lives. She expresses her compassion for those that have less, and she seeks to find justice for those that don't. Jupiter enters the sign of Leo, personal creative expression, on July 16th. The moon opposes Saturn at 7:55 a.m. Reality slaps us in the face this morning and reminds us that we have to work hard to get our dreams met. It's a great morning to get yourself organized. The moon is now void of course from 7:55 a.m. until 8:57 p.m. when the moon enters mentally active Gemini. This is one of those days when we have a very long period during which the moon is void of course. Stick to your agenda and things will be fine. The moon does enter Gemini at 8:47 a.m. The moon trines Venus in the evening, 10:45 p.m. We're now ready to gather in the rewards of the day. This is a great evening for almost any kind of activity, but especially those that pamper us. Friday, March 7th, the moon continues in light-hearted Gemini today. The moon squares Neptune at 7:11 a.m. This will give us a sluggish start to our morning, and it may be hard to arrive anywhere on time. Give yourself some extra time this morning. The moon sextiles Uranus at 6 p.m. we're looking for a change of pace in our routines. This is a good time to be out with friends or people that we really like. And of course, with that Uranus, we'll always want to be more spontaneous. Although Mercury went stationary direct on February 28th, this day, March 7th, is when we really get back up to speed and things get back to normal. Saturday, March 8th, the moon transits. Versatile Gemini all day. The moon squares the sun at 7:27 a.m. It's a good morning to be up early and greeting the sun. This is also a good time for some meditation or just having some time for personal reflection. The moon trines Mercury at 2:19 p.m. We're feeling clever and verbose this afternoon. In business, this is a great time for any type of contract, negotiations, or just getting clear about details. In our personal life, we're more open to talk about our day-to-day activities. There are no more aspects for the rest of this day on Saturday, March 8th, but the moon is not void, of course. You should have a pleasant, if not somewhat laid-back, rest of the day on Saturday. And of course, all the times that I talk about are Central Standard Time or Central Daylight Time. This does wrap up the daily forecast. Don't forget, I'm starting a new class on Wednesday, March 5th. Of course, that's 2014, on Mars retrograde. We'll be meeting every Wednesday night for the next 6 weeks, 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. And that's every Wednesday for a couple of hours. The cost of the class is $90. If you'd like to attend the class, you can always reach us at LillyRoddyShow.com, LillyRoddyShow@AOL.com, or find us on Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and look for our show next week. And please take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. And remember to keep those stars in your eyes. Good night.